a radio station in Zambia, connecting you to the newsmakers and events that make news in the global village.
Good afternoon. This is the 5FM Radio Main News. The headlines. Ivy Hamadudu says mining sector growth creating ripple effects across economy. Ministry of Education Zambia launches primary provision guide in partnership with British Council. US and Iran begin talks seen as crucial to prevent conflict. This bulletin is streaming live on our Facebook page, 5FM Radio Zambia, and also streaming live on our YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. With the details, my name is Lance Sannie. The leader of the Party for National Unity and Progress, Ivy Hamadudu, says positive developments in the mining sector have created a significant ripple effect across other sectors of the economy. Speaking when he featured on the Thursday edition of the Burning Issue program, Mr. Hamadudu noted that increased investment and improved performance in the mining industry are stimulating growth in transport, construction, and small-scale enterprises. He said the expansion of mining activities has also boosted employment opportunities and enhanced revenue generation, which in turn supports national development programs. Mr. Hamadudu emphasized the need for government and stakeholders to sustain policy consistency in the mining sector to ensure continued economic benefits for Zambia.
And mining exports have been what has been underpinning the strength of our currency. I want to tell you that at independence, you and I were not born yet, our currency was stronger than US dollar. Then it was the Zambian pound before we went to the kwacha.
Right.
Underpinned by mineral exports, mainly copper. And therefore, the cranker, the multiplier to the growth of the economy begins within the mining. That is the structure of the economy. And the policies in the mining sector, Zaki, that have been implemented by the UPND are on spot. First of all, they are competitive.
And Mr. Hamadudu says the agricultural sector is also performing positively beyond maize production to sustain the country's nutrition.
Chops, yeah, and see the production beyond just millet. We now have millet meal. We now have cassava meal. We now have sorghum meal. And those are healthier than maize meal. Do you know that? Yeah. So even on the nutrition aspect of us Zambians must begin to improve. I can tell you, Zach, now, because now I'm eating health, I want to eat twice a day. This body was not meant to eat 3 times or 5 times. Just for children. Understand? Eh? I'm shocked. I eat natural things, samp is groundnuts. You eat in the morning and you eat in the... So, look at me. Don't I look healthy?
The Ministry of Education has officially launched the Primary Provision Guide in partnership with the British Council in a move aimed at strengthening the delivery of education at primary school level. The guide is designed to provide clear standards and practical teaching strategies for educators with a focus on improving lesson planning, classroom management, and learner-centered methodologies. The document will help harmonize the provision education across the country and ensure consistent quality in both urban and rural schools. Speaking during the launch, Minister of Education Douglas Yagalima, in a statement read on his behalf by Charles Ndakala, emphasized that the primary provision guide will serve as a key reference tool for teachers and school administrators, supporting curriculum implementation and enhancing learning outcomes among pupils.
We're talking about strengthening education provision in foundational to ensuring that girls not only access education, but remain, learn, and transition successfully through the system. And this guide is actually also speaking to that. At policy level, higher level, we've had the Education World Forum, where for the past 4 years, the Minister of Education has been to UK to attend the Education World Forum, where over 120 ministers globally meet. And we're very fortunate that the last 3 years, our minister has been able to speak at those forums, which is not easy, but he's been able to talk and all promoting girls' education.
Meanwhile, the British Council representative Akim Banda reaffirmed its commitment to supporting teacher professional development and education reform initiatives, noting that strong foundational learning is critical to national development.
Working with all partners that contribute to foundational learning, we shall strive to work towards ensuring that our president succeeds in this role. This can only be attained through well-coordinated foundational literacy and numeracy programs that respond to the needs of the Zambian people. You may wish to know that the Primary Education Provision Guide aggregates knowledge accumulated over decades of delivering primary education.
The National Child Rights Forum (NCRF) is disturbed by the tragic incident in which 2 children were allegedly thrown into the Ngwerere River by their father's second wife. NCRF coordinator Yusuf Ayami strongly condemned the act, describing it as a heinous violation of the Children's Codes Act 2022, Act number 12 of 2022. He cited Section 17, which protects children from maltreatment. He referred to Section 3, which enshrines the principle that the best interest of the child must always be paramount in all matters affecting them. Mr. Ayami emphasized that the president's recent national address reaffirmed Zambia's national values and principles, including morality and ethics and dignity, unity, integrity, good governance, and sustainable development. Mr. Ayami appealed to community leaders, families, and civil society organizations to strengthen child safeguarding systems and ensure that children grow up in environments free from violence, jealousy, and neglect. That failure to act decisively risks normalizing violence within families and weakening public trust in Zambia's commitment to child. The Zambia Police Service, through Charleston Police Station, has detained a 26-year-old woman of Mainwood, Kwamwena, Phase 4, for the alleged murder of 2 children, aged 6 and 2. Deputy Public Relations Officer Chipo Kaitisha says the suspect, identified as Mary Kachilika, was arrested following a report made on February 25, 2026, around 14:30 hours at Kwamwena Police Post. The report was filed by 29-year-old Titus Kamanga of Phase 5, who alleged that his second wife threw his 2 children from his first wife into the Ngwerere River around 1200 hours. Ms. Kaitisha says preliminary investigations in complainant is in a polygamous marriage and disputes had reportedly arisen due to jealousy, as one wife has children while the other does not. She says it is alleged that on the day of the incident, the husband had gone to work while the first wife was doing household chores. Ms. Kaitisha says the children were left inside the house eating but were later discovered missing after their mother heard them crying and followed the sound towards the river. A 28-year-old fisherman is reported to have witnessed the incident and apprehended the suspect.
The vehicle keys were found in possession of a 19-year-old male juvenile of Chainda compound.
Apologies for that wrong clip. And in other news trending this afternoon, governance activist Sam Zulu says the country must strengthen democracy and uphold constitutionalism through inclusive national processes. Senga Hill constituency aspiring candidate Ongani Yamba has stated that the road and transport network remains a major barrier to development in the area. stand by for business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
The Plumbers Association of Zambia says measures are underway to ensure that the recently developed competency-based curriculum responds effectively to the needs of the industry. Association President Moses Chongo says the goal is to align training standards with the evolving demands of the labor market, particularly in the construction and plumbing sectors. Mr. Chongo explains that the efforts are being undertaken in collaboration with government, specifically through the Technical Education, Vocational and Entrepreneurship Training Authority and the Ministry of Technology and Science. He says strengthening competency-based training will help produce graduates with practical skills that match industry expectations, enhance professionalism, and improve service delivery in the sector. Mr. Chongo adds that continued collaboration between training institutions and industry players is key to ensuring quality workmanship and creating employment opportunities for young people. Ends the business news, and in foreign news, US and Iranian officials are meeting in Geneva for a third round of direct talks seen as crucial to averting conflict. President Donald Trump has threatened to strike Iran if a nuclear deal is not reached. The discussions come amid the largest U.S. military buildup in the Middle East since the U.S.-led invasion of Iraq in 2003, and with Iran vowing to respond to an attack with force. But the chances of an agreement remain unclear. While Trump has said he prefers to solve the crisis through diplomacy, he has also said he is considering a limited strike to Iran to pressure its leaders to accept a deal. And in sports news, defending Zambia in the first semi-final of the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Women's Championship at the new Peter Mokambo Stadium on Friday is scheduled for 12 hours Central African time as the Copper Queens push to defend their regional title and book a place in the final. Zimbabwe at the same venue, with kickoff set for 15 hours Central African time as the race to the final gathers pace in Polokwane. Last fall after Mozambique delivered a 2-0 win over Madagascar. Madagascar, who needed only to progress as leaders, were undone on the day, opening the door for Namibia to advance. Up next, the weather report.
Class Econ Roofing Africa.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Qatar. 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus
In Africa. Class Econ.
The eastern parts of Lusaka, central and the southern parts of eastern provinces partly cloudy and hot with a chance of maximum temperature is ranging from 26 degrees to 34 degrees Celsius. The evening will be partly cloudy and mild with a chance of isolated rain. Ends our weather report, and that item brings us to the end of the news. But before we go, a recap of the stories that made headlines. The leader of the Party for National Unity and Progress, Ivy Hamadudu, says positive developments in the mining sector have created a significant ripple effect across other sectors of the economy. The Ministry of Education has officially launched the Primary Provision Guide in partnership with the British Council in a move aimed at strengthening the delivery of education at primary school level. And finally, in the news, US and Iranian officials are meeting in Geneva for a third round of indirect talks, seen as crucial to averting conflict. For more news, follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the happy world of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. My name is Lance Sannie. Enjoy the rest of our programming.